What is up, LEGO fans? Kaz60bricks here, and today I'll be reviewing set 71750 Lloyd's Hydra Mech. This set came out on June 1st, 2021 as part of the Ninjago Season 15 sets. It came with 2 minifigures, 228 pieces, and retailed for €20. And this is actually my first Seabound set. Now, as always, at the end of the video I'll be giving this set a score out of 15, and if you'd like to see how that rating system works, just go tap on the card in the top right corner just so you know what's going on. But without further ado, let's just get into this review. So as per usual, we'll be starting off with the minifigures. So here is your Scuba Lloyd that you get in the set. He's really cool. I love the piece for his head, combining a ninja mask with a scuba goggles. The ability to hold a sword is really cool with this new piece that attaches to the waist and the neck, which is pretty cool. Katana is nothing new. Black flippers look pretty cool. And just to touch on his colour scheme, I love the green and I love the yellow with his symbol there in the back. Pretty nice printing there for the torso and legs. A pretty great minifigure. And then the Mari guard here, I love the detail printing, the gold elements, the flippers look great as well. Getting this piece in black, the golden armour, and the headpiece is just awesome as well. Awesome mold introduced back in season 11. And yeah, I really enjoyed these guys in the show, just knocked over Lloyd. So yeah, these are pretty cool. And then the wave amulet is just like the storm amulet, different colour, and it's actually got like glitter in this one, which is pretty weird. But yeah, those are the 2 minifigures you get in the set. Pretty standard what you would expect, nothing too special. With those out of the way, let's take a look at the build. So the first thing that I noticed about this guy is he's actually pretty big, a lot bigger than you'd expect. Those sort of the Samurai X Mech size, he's much taller than that actually, they're about there. So pretty cool actually, a lot bigger than you'd expect. You're definitely getting your volume worth, I suppose, for €20. So we'll just start off at the bottom and look at the design, I guess. The feet, probably the weakest part. Don't really like the design, not sure what they were going for there. We'll take a look at the posability in a minute, but we're just going to look at the design first. I love the sloped bits here. I love the colour scheme as well for this whole mech, the yellow and the dark green, and then the sort of lime green. It's just really, really cool, I like it. And then we have these, I suppose, hip attachments. They look pretty cool. The hip area, waist, looking really nice. And then you have this attachment where the cockpit goes onto. The yellow sloped up there, we'll take a closer look. But yeah, I just really love the angles here. That's really cool, goes all the way around. And that'll take us to the back, which doesn't look too bad. They obviously tried to put this here for a little bit of design. I don't mind it at all. The back of the legs is kind of ugly, but it's definitely not the worst back of a mech we've ever had. So moving our way up, we have, of course, this new cockpit piece introduced for the Boulder Blaster, and they're using it again. They've used it a lot in these season 15 sets, and we'll take a look at Lloyd in there a little bit later, but that's just what the cockpit looks like with that removed, and the yellow slope pieces are pretty cool. And then we have 2 shoulders, which are both different. I actually like that. I don't like when things are perfectly symmetrical. This just looks a lot cooler to me, personally. I just love the yellow elements. They look really cool. There's a symbol once again. The other shoulder is pretty nice as well. I just, again, love that contrast. This looks a little bit ugly. It's better covered up here, but not as well here. But then he's got a pretty nice arm, and then this sword, which just adds to his look. And overall, I just do like the design of this mech. So now let's just take a look, I guess, at the posability, playability, and, you know, putting the minifigure in the cockpit and that sort of stuff. So putting Lloyd in the mech was actually not the easiest thing in the world. He doesn't fit in that well, and he is, like, quite far down. That's just where the brown things, I suppose, to put his feet in were. Pretty deep in the mech and also a little bit covered, so I'm not sure if you're supposed to put him in those or if you're just supposed to lie him there and close it up, and you will have to take off his katanas and flippers, which is a little bit annoying. So I wouldn't say that aspect is too good. You of course have the sword, which is another aspect of playability, which can be taken off and put in here, so that's kind of how he holds it, and that's just how that looks. So in terms of what can move, we can move the ankles, both of them. We can move at the hip, just like so, and you can move these sort of attachments as well, but you're going to want to keep those in place mostly. And it's not too great for posing the legs, but they work well enough. You can get it in some poses, but they do tend to like stick to certain positions, and they are a little bit annoying to move, I would say. This hand can move back and forth. You can move it on the ball joint here. You can move this shoulder attachment. Same can be done with this hand. Those claws, of course, can move. This shoulder piece can slightly move, this light can move up and down. Then you have the cockpit door that can open. Overall, in my opinion, I don't think the playability of the set is that great. It's quite annoying to pose, quite finicky, a lot of things breaking, and it was very difficult to do a lot of things, and things were just falling apart. So in that aspect, I would say the set is actually quite poor. In that terms of the design. However, it does look very good for display, and keep in mind when the kid is just playing with it, it is quite swooshable, and the sword of course is added effect, but again, when you get into the gritty parts of it, it is a little bit poorly designed. So now it's time, of course, to give this set a score, and starting off with the design, as I said, I pretty much think it's flawless. There are just a few things, like a few gaps and things that could be improved, but I do think it's one of the best aspects of the set, so I'm going to give it an 8. Playability wise, I've already kind of put my opinion on this. I do think it has a lot of factors that are great, like the sword, the claws, the minifigures are also great, and it's just quite nice to hold in the hand, but then again, it is quite fragile, not great for posability, hard to move, and for that I'll just give it a 6. Minifigure wise, they're nothing special, but the minifigures are very quality, if you know what I mean. Definitely could have had more, possibly, but I do think they're quite fair. I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. Value-wise, definitely think you're getting more than enough here for €20. I'm going to give that a 7. In terms of my own opinion, I'll just give it another 7. Pretty great set. Nothing amazing, but I don't think it's bad either. Adding that all up, we get 35 out of 50, which is a perfect 7 out of 10. And yeah, I do think that fits the set perfectly. It's a good set. I would recommend it. It's not a must-buy, but it's the cheapest of all the Season 15 sets, and it is worth picking up if you're a Ninjago fan and you're into mechs.
Hope you enjoyed the video. That's all from me. Have a great. I almost forgot. If you don't like, subscribe, and share this with your friends, the buildable bat will be very upset.